Imagine two armies, one of warners or monkeys alongside sloth bears, the other of rakshasas or demons, stood motionless, their weapons frozen mid-air. All eyes were on the center of the battlefield, where two warriors faced each other, Ram, the exiled human prince, and Ravan, the demon king. What followed was no ordinary battle between the two formidable armies. It was a clash that would decide the fate of the then world. We look at the climactic duel of this long and legendary war. This duel wasn't a single fight between Ram and Ravan. It unfolded in three key stages, each one raising the stakes. Let's dive into the epic final battle between Ram and Ravan as described vividly in the Ramayana, a cornerstone of Indian mythology, and break it down, duel by duel. The battle began after Ravan, the 10-headed demon king, abducted Prince Ram's wife, Sita. Seeking to rescue her, Ram allied with the monkey army led by Sugriv and Hanuman. After an intense siege by Ram's army on Ravan's kingdom, Lanka, Ram and Ravan finally faced each other in the final duel that would go on with no end in sight. Ravan, having lost all his sons, brothers, and generals in the battle, came with vengeance. The celestial beings, the gods, sages, and Gandharvas gathered to watch, their hearts heavy with anticipation.
Come and fight with me, king of the Rakshas. Why do you fight only with warners?
With both the armies of monkeys and demons frozen in awe, the duel began. The first duel begins with Ram on foot and Lakshman, his brother, right behind him. They face the menacing Ravan, who was in his grand chariot, giving the demon king a significant advantage. After an intense exchange of arrows, Ravan unleashes a magical spear at Lakshman. Shattering through his chest and pinning him down to the ground, causing him to collapse. Hanuman instantly rushes to bring medicinal herbs to resurrect Lakshman. While no one else could pull Ravan's spear out of Lakshman, Ram grabs and pulls it using his divine strength. The attack on his brother enrages Ram massively as he's filled with an unrelenting determination to take the fight back to Ravan. Witnessing this imbalance, the gods intervene with Indra, king of the gods, sending his celestial charioteer Matali along with a radiant chariot armor and divine weapons to aid Ram. With this newfound divine support, Ram resumes the fight against Ravan, setting the stage for the escalating battle ahead.
Even if the gods, Gandharvas and Danavas were to unite against me, I would not give up Sita. How can Ravan be afraid when no one, not even the gods, dare face me in battle? I may break, but I will never bend.
Ravan opened the battle with an attack on Ram's pride with a volley of arrows at Ram's flagstaff. But his arrows fell short, failing to even touch the banner. Ram retaliated, firing a sharp arrow that shattered Ravan's flagstaff. The destruction of his banner enraged Ravan, who unleashed a storm of weapons, maces, iron bludgeons, and even mountain tops that made the sky darkened, filled with arrows and debris. Despite this torrent, Ram stood unfazed, He met every attack with equal force, countering with hundreds and thousands of his own arrows. The chariots of the two warriors moved in intricate patterns, circling, darting forward and retreating. Their charioteers displayed unmatched skill as the battle reached new heights of intensity. At one point, Ram struck Ravan's horses with 4 sharp arrows, driving them away. Furious, Ravan retaliated by firing arrows at Matali, the charioteer of Indra. But Matali, protected by divine powers, remained unharmed. Ram, angered by the attack on his charioteer, unleashed a network of arrows that forced Ravan to turn away, bringing the fight to a stalemate.
You have done many terrible things, O Ravan. You have deprived me of the valiant warriors you killed. But I know you are exhausted, so I will not kill you now.
The third duel made both the opponents use their divine weapons. When Ravan deploys arrows that transform into snakes, Ram counters by invoking Garud, the king of birds, neutralizing Ravan's attacks. The gods and celestial beings grew anxious as the battle raged on. Ravan then unleashed a weapon of demonic illusions, conjuring arrows and projectiles that transformed into lions, tigers, vultures, jackals, and other fearsome creatures to overwhelm Ram. Undeterred, Ram countered with blazing arrows infused with the power of the god of fire. Their brilliance rivaling the sun and moon. These divine arrows incinerated Ravan's illusory creations mid-air, nullifying the onslaught and showcasing Ram's mastery and composure. Ram, in a moment of divine focus, fired a serpent-like arrow that severed one of Ravan's 10 heads. The world gasped as the head fell, but almost instantly, a new head appeared in its place. Ram struck again and again, severing hundreds of heads. Yet each time, a new head reappeared. Ravan seemed invincible. As the duel stretched into its final day, Ram realized his arrows, which had defeated the mightiest foes, were failing. It was a battle with no end in sight. At this critical moment, Matali reminded Ram of the Brahmastra, a divine weapon presided over by Lord Brahma, the creator of worlds. The time for Ravan's destruction had come. The Brahmastra, gifted by sage Agastya, was no ordinary weapon. It had wind in its feathers, fire and the sun at its tip, and the weight of mountains in its shaft. It blazed like a venomous snake, unstoppable in its power. As Ram released the weapon, the battlefield fell silent. The arrow tore through the air, piercing Ravan's chest and shattering his heart. The mighty demon king had finally fallen. The armies of demons fled in panic, while the monkeys erupted in cheers. With Ravan's fall, peace returned to the world. The gods rejoiced, showering flowers from the heavens. The earth, which had trembled throughout the battle, finally stood still. Ram, standing tall amidst the victory, fulfilled his destiny. His allies, Hanuman, Sugriv, Angad, Vibhishan, Jamvant and Lakshman, paid their respects to the victorious prince, who had ended the reign of terror. If you found this retelling of Ram and Ravan's duel captivating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more epic stories from Indian mythology We're just getting started.